Dirty Work Inc. by Joshua Waggoner. I'm Louis. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I'm a criminal. I'm a goon, a thug, muscle for hire, a street-level blunt instrument for the New York mob. I'm also in LA. Why? I'm getting to that. I'm also still in the Mafia. Kinda. Just not the good fella kind. What do I mean by that? Why am I telling you all this? Mind your business, that's why. What's with all the questions? Wait for me to finish and you'll know. So sit down, shut up and listen. So this whole thing started when I got a call to find some little prick who owed the wrong people the right amount of money. And by the right amount of money, I mean the right amount that they wanted me to make sure he didn't end up owing anyone else any more money. Ever. Easy enough. I do it all the time. Some asshole borrows money from people they shouldn't have borrowed it from. The person decided that they weren't going to ever get it back. And me, or someone like me who don't much care for the sanctity of human life, gets called in to make a gruesome example out of them. That is not my entire job description, but that's part of it. So I go to whack the little prick. Problem was, I tracked down the wrong prick all the way from New York to LA. Yeah, not the crowning achievement in my career, I will admit. But the guy looked like him. He talked like him. He acted like a prick. A contact of mine even said he seemed like he was running from someone. What was I supposed to think? So I calls the boss and tell him I fucked up. And he told me that if I wanted to show my face in New York again, he'd have to beat me half to death, and then drown the rest of the way upside down in a bucket of piss. That's about the moment I realized LA was kinda nice that time of year. So I'm in LA, which for those of you who don't know is fucking expensive. Naturally, I needed some kind of income because, call me crazy, I find the idea of sleeping in a box in the street absolutely fucking repulsive. So I try to get a legit job, turn over a new leaf. As it so happens, that leaf had "Go fuck yourself" written on the other side. You see, I got a record. Surprise, surprise. And not like a Guinness record neither. And also not the stay 500 feet away from a school kind, but not the kind that makes people excited about hiring you. Back to the old leaf it is. I started trolling the alleyways trying to spot some shady dealings, make the right friends in the wrong places, or the wrong friends in the right places. You'll be the judge. Anyway, one night I finally luck out. I round the corner to an alley and catch sign of someone making a handoff to a guy on a bike. We used to use couriers in New York to get drugs and other less than legal miscellanea quick around the city. So I camp out at one end of the alley and wait. I didn't knock because sometimes if you knock the wrong way around, a buckshot is likely to do the answering. And having been shot, I'm here to tell you it's an experience that I would describe as less than enjoyable. So again, I wait. After a few hours, the door opens up and someone walks out. "Yo!" I calls to him. To which he responds with a polite, "The fuck you want?" A Jersey accent. Nobody's perfect. Easy there, pal. I'm looking for work. And you looks like you got the kind of work I'm good at. I tell the guy. Piss off. He says he's about to turn and walk the other way. But I stop him. Hold up. Whatever you got, I can handle. Just give me a shot. I'm not saying I was begging, but no was not an answer I was willing to accept at the time. The jackass starts laughing in my face. Whatever I got you can handle? He asked me, still kinda laughing. I said I can handle it. I can fucking handle it, I says to the guy. So he walks over and puts his hand on my shoulder. You got a winning attitude, I like that. Follow me. I think I got something for you. He tells me, still chuckling as he leads me over to the rusty door that's got "fuck off" keyed into it. What's your name, kid? Louis, I answered. Louis, my name's Mark. Louis, tell me, have you got a strong stomach? Yeah, I ain't squeamish or nothing. Get seasick a little, but that's about it, I told him. Seasick, you say? Mark said with his dickish fucking smile on his face. Well, you don't gotta worry about no seasickness around here. He kept talking as he opened the door to the place and walked me in with him. Hey man, thanks for this opportunity. I'm not gonna let you... I'm in the wrong fucking place. I sat against my will once I got a look around. The whole place was a gory goddamn nightmare. There were human limbs and organs and meat every fucking where. Yo, hey, something wrong, Louie? You getting seasick over there? Mark asked, keeping that smile strong on his face. Is that a fucking kid? Tell me that's not a fucking kid over there on that table. I said, shaking my finger in the direction of what looked like a 10 or 11-year-old girl. Her lifeless eyes gazing up to me in fluorescent lights, both her legs missing and her chest open wide. All the ribs broke out the wrong way and her organs gone. Why is there a little girl on that table and why is she like that? Don't get squeamish on me now, Louie. You still got work to do, he said, taking me by the shoulder and leading me deeper into the darker parts of the building. You know, I'm starting to have second thought. I tried to say, but he starts to open another door to the other side of the place. Come on, through here, he said, not wanting to disobey. I followed his instructions. We walked down this longish hallway until we got to another door on the left side of the far end, which he opens and points into. So I go inside. Then Mark walks in behind me and flicks the lights on. I catch myself standing in a morgue. Okay, come here. Pay attention. See the shit on the bottom of their foot? He asked me after I pulled open one of the drawers with a body in it. If there's something there, that means they're either donated to science, they're gonna be cremated, and won't nobody know the difference. Or they didn't have nobody that gave a fuck when they died. That means we can do with them as we so choose. You following me? I think so. Right, good. So a line means it's fresh. A day or two at most. A check means they died somewhere fancy like a hospital and they got refrigerated pretty quick. We like these the best. A circle means they ain't so fresh and they weren't cooled down quick. They're usually ones that get found a few days later or something. Usually when somebody starts to notice the smell. We got a few customers who like these, but for the most part we don't use these ones too often. You still with me? Yeah. Outstanding. So what you're gonna do is we need 2 ones with the checks tonight. You're gonna find 2 of those, put them on the cart over there, wheel them back to the shop, and then we'll tell you what to do after that. Mark instructs to me. So I do what he tells me. He leaves me and I start rifling through the drawers until I find a couple of the right ones, drag them to the cart, and bring them back to the other building. Okay, what now? I asked the guy, pushing the cart into the room, trying as hard as I can not to look at the little girl's butchered carcass again. What's your deal? Mark asked. I don't do kids, man. I just don't. Women is one thing. If they're an adult, sometimes a bitch has it coming. That's just how it is sometimes. But kids ain't done nothing wrong to no one, I says to him. Yeah, well, shit happens to everyone. Not just bad people like us. Get used to it. Pull the card over here and take this. He said, handing me a paper bag. What's this? Drugs. You're gonna take them to this address. You're gonna give them to the people there. Then you're gonna take the money they give you, and then you're gonna come back here with the money. He instructed as he wrote the address down on a piece of notebook paper. Right. Now get the fuck out of here. What kind of drugs? Hey, am I paying you to ask questions or do work? I don't know. Am I getting paid? If you don't get the fuck out of here! He yelled, kicking the door open and throwing me out. So I'm stumbling around these back alleys looking for some joint called Woodhaven Apartments. Took me about 20 minutes, but I finally find the place and get to the right room. So if I follow the instructions on the paper and knock twice, pause, knock once, pause, and knock twice again. A few seconds later, the door opens up and some shady guy sticks his head out. I wasn't sure, but I could have swore the guy's eyes flashed yellow for a second or two. What? The occupant snapped at me. Yeah, Mark sent me. Said to give this to you. I explained, holding up the bag. Nice! He shouted, snatching the bag out of my hand and slammed the door in my face. Yo! Mark said you got the money I'm supposed to get! Hey! I yelled, kicking at the bottom of the door until someone else inside finally snatched it open. Here, get lost. He said, shoving the bag back into my hand, now filled with a familiar texture of cash, before slamming the door in my face again. You know, your manners could use some work, pal. I yelled through the door before realizing Mark didn't tell me how much was supposed to be in the bag, so I couldn't count it to make sure. So I make my way back to Mark and hand him the bag as soon as I get there. You didn't say how much it was supposed to be, so I couldn't count it before I left, I tells him. Don't worry about it. He said, opening the sack and pulling out the cash. Those mosquitoes don't got the balls to He stopped mid-sentence and got serious real quick. What is this? Whoa, what are you talking about? What's what? I asked, kind of worried now. Where's the rest of it? Day goddamn one, and you're already skimming off the top? He screamed, jumping out of the chair and jamming a pistol in my face. Jesus, I didn't take any of it! I swear to God! Don't fucking lie to me, you little bastard! He yelled, twisting the muzzle into my temple. And I could see his fingers start to tighten around the trigger. Hey, easy! I didn't take your shit! What do you want me to do? Bend over and spread my cheeks? I said I don't got it! I don't got it! After thinking for a second, he put down the gun on the table, pulled out his phone and made a call. I heard it ring for a few seconds over the speaker before somebody picked up. Before they had a chance to answer, he was already yelling. What the hell do you think your sons of bitches are doing? You think you're gonna start shortchanging me? You can't just start paying us what you think we deserve. The only response from the other end was just a bunch of people laughing into the phone, which was, as you can imagine, not going over very well towards Mark's mood. Listen here, you cactus-tongued cocksuckers. Click. Oh, you buck-tooth fuck! He bellowed as they hung up on him, before angrily picking up the phone, calling a different contact and holding it up to his ear. Hey, Johnny, sorry, hey. Those assholes in Woodhaven just shortchanged us. Yeah. No, I sent this new guy who came sniffing around for work. I know. I didn't think he'd come back either. Hey, I'm about to call him next. You call Chris and meet me here. Okay, see you in a few. What's going on? I asked once he hung up. We're about to do some dirt, he told me as he was making his last call. Hey, Muscles. We gotta bust some heads, Woodhaven. Meet us there at 20. This all necessary just to bump some junkies? I asked. But he don't answer. He just pushes me out the door, grabs a black derby hat, and puts it on as he locks the door behind him. You see that black van down there? The one that make you real nervous if you was a lady walking home by yourself? Get in, he told me as another car rolled up behind it. A few minutes later, we're parked out in front of the Woodhaven building. What are we waiting for again? How about you just shut up for a minute? Mark answered, looking around for whoever's supposed to be coming. There he is, he said a few minutes later as a large truck pulled up. Then this big-ass Asian guy in a yellow tank top gets out. Holy shit, that guy's huge, I said without thinking as he pulled some kind of big case out of the bed of the truck and walked over to the van. Then without saying a word, Mark got out alongside the two guys in the car and followed them into the building. This the one? The Asian guy asked once we were in front of the apartment from before. Mark nodded his head and the guy asked, All of them? Yeah, I don't think we got any business left with these ones. Keep it quiet, he added while the guy opened up the case and took out what looked like some kind of big meat cleaver that was almost as tall as him. Hold this, the Asian guy told me as he handed me the case. Then the guy, he just kicked the door down, broke the damn thing in half, and ran inside. The rest of us waited out in the hallway as we heard screams of all kinds of commotion from inside. Glass breaking, gunfire, shit hitting the floor, and then suddenly something dragging itself out the door. The face was warped and messed up. Its front teeth were just two sharp, white triangles that I could see as it screamed and cried trying to get out of the apartment before it was snatched back inside. Then, the screaming finally stopped. Yeah, quiet as a fucking church mouse, Mark said as he stepped inside over all the bodies. Hey, new guy, go find the money. No, hold up! You're not just gonna pretend I didn't just see what I saw. What the hell was that? I shouted at him. Jesus, what is that? I screamed, almost stepping over his severed head. I'd seen the others before, but this one, it looked like the thing that had tried to crawl out the door, but its tongue was hanging out and open. The end of it was open, and the top half had all these blobs coming out of it. What, you never seen a vampire before? I thought you said you could handle whatever, he said, kicking the head across the room. Now go find the money. I wasn't in a position to make demands, so I started looking through the apartment all the usual places. Couch cushions on a couch now completely cut in half, cabinets, water tank on the toilet. I looked everywhere I could think of as I wandered around the carnage. Then I walked into one of the bedrooms. I didn't find the money, but I did find some spun out woman laying on the bed, only about half conscious. Hey, yo, I didn't find the money, but there's a lady in here, I called out to the rest of the guys. Can't believe these broke pieces of shit. Oh, hey, what do you know? There really is some broad in here, walking in behind me. Okay, so we can make this work. Hey, Chris, Johnny, come get this girl out to the van, he said whilst he made the call. I got something you fellas might want. Female, right about where you want her. Could be there in 15. Okay, see you there. Come on, Louie. Right, Louie. We got another errand to run before we call it a night, he said, leading me back through the door. Watch your step, there's someone's right arm. 15 minutes later, me and Mark are walking this girl up a flight of steps at a different apartment building. Apparently in worse shape than the last one. A task in that she could barely even stand with both of us helping. We stopped at the front door. I assumed he meant to, then knocked. It's me, Mark shouted. Then it swung open and a guy with a ratty white shirt stepped out. Oh, nice. Yeah, she's great, he said as he excitedly looked her over. How much you say again? 1,000? I didn't, and that's 1,500. And don't you bitch about it. Look at her. She's in decent condition. No one wanted fluids on or in her. Not too roughed up, seasoned to perfection, and she don't look half bad. 1,500, or I call someone else. No, that's good. 15's good. The guy snapped, pulling out a wad of cash and counting out the right amount before giving it to Mark. And then, just as the guy took the woman's arm and pulled her inside, I could see a brief second her eyes started to focus, and she realized what was happening. And then I noticed the yellow flash in the man's eyes as the door creaked closed. A sharp scream broke the quiet for a second whilst we walked back down the stairs, but it was cut short halfway through. I didn't hear anything else after that until we got back into the van with Mark. Here, that's for you, he said, handing me 500 out of the money we just got. We'll be short 1,000, so that's yours for the night. You come back tomorrow, we'll find more stuff to keep you busy. We gotta go collect some protection money at this little goblin fighting joint downtown. We could use an extra goon. So, you're telling me that all this fairy tale vampires and goblins and boogeymen and all that shit is real? I asked, nervously trying to choke down my weird feeling in my stomach. Are you still on that shit? Do you really need more convincing? Yeah, most of that shit is real, and we run the rackets that involve them. What about that is still fuzzy to you? Look, do you want the job or don't you? And that was my first day in the paranormal mafia. But remember, you didn't hear it from me.